But yeah, apologies for that. I should have recorded that before everyone joined in. But then moving on, for those that are joining us for the first time, we will be talking a lot more about what goes on in the organization and topics around or surrounding corporate hostilities between HR and management, or HR and employees, employees and management, right? In the past, we have talked about lots of topics that I cannot even say offhand right now, but I know we have talked about figurehead HR before. Yeah, I remember we've dealt on figurehead HR. We've talked about what's this other topic we discussed the first time. The first time we just talked about winning strategies against hostilities between HR managers and employees. We've talked about how workplace culture shapes employee experience and so on and so forth. So to save us time, right, we will just go into the topic that we have for today. Once more, I'm welcoming everybody. If I did not mention your name from the start, please pardon me, forgive me. We've gone way above time right now, and we need to go into the topic for today. Once again, my name is Gloria Olajesu Alechino John. Next week, we'll be having a speaker discussing this, a guest speaker discussing this particular topic with us and sharing some knowledge with us. I won't tell us who that person is, but then I would ensure to share the flyer with us latest by tomorrow or sometime during the week. Okay, so for today, we'll be looking at, I would like to ask us, I don't know, I hope you can all see the screen. Please let me know if you are unable to see the screen. But if you can see the screen, you can just put it in the chat box. I'm aware that everyone is at work and they're unable to actually unmute to speak and share. Like I always say, feel free to put in the chat box any of your comments, your questions, your feedback, your contributions, and they are welcome. All right, so tell me about a feedback you recently received that got to you. So this is the time to share again, like I would usually have us share. Tell me about a feedback you recently got that got to you badly. It doesn't have to be an official feedback. It doesn't have to be you being at the office or anything like that. It could be a feedback, maybe at home, personally, or in a relationship or anything like that. You guys know I'm very much open to the chat box. I always respond to you as I'm talking, so you can put it in the chat box. I am ready to respond to all of us. Welcome, guys, as you keep coming in. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna go first and share. I recently received the feedback that at first it didn't get to me badly. I think I was just like, what? That's not me. I don't do that. Okay, so it wasn't like a very bad feedback, but then it was more of I wasn't expecting it and it hit me. Like it just did like boom. Right. And the feedback was that I okay, the person said a statement that Olaji, so I think you is it did the person say I'm proud? No, the person said, I think you always act as if you have everything figured out. Yeah, that's how the person put it. She thinks I always act as if I have everything figured out and I do not ask for help and I always try to do everything by myself. And a part of me actually thought, I've always thought, I mean, not I've always, but I think that is a very positive feedback. But the way it came at me, it wasn't looking like the person wasn't telling me positively, it was negatively, right? And I wasn't happy because I thought that was a good thing. I mean, it's always good to be like, be able to sort things out by yourself, be able to figure things out. But that statement, you think you've got it all figured out. First of all, I don't have it all figured out. Secondly, I do ask for help, but then rather than responding the way that I felt at that moment, I took some time to actually analyze that feedback, to think about it, to see if that's really who I am and if I really do that. And I figured out that I do. And I figured out that many people don't even think I need help with many things because I don't show that I need help. I don't ask that I need help. I don't, I act like I can do it. So it's not really a positive thing, but this is me sharing, right? My own feedback that I got very recently that it took some time to analyze, to process, to say, okay, I need to do better. Okay, I need to work on it. Sometimes we complain about things, right? This is my own feedback. Sometimes I complain that, okay, nobody's helping me, nobody's seeing that I'm struggling and all that. Okay, but people have a lot going on for them. They're not going to see until you communicate, until you talk, until you speak out and say, I need help. Help me. I can't do this on my own. I can't carry this on my own. But me, I'd rather pray for help for those that know me. and wait for the help to come. When God has put people around me to actually help me, if only I can voice out, right? Naomi's laughing at me. Yeah, I know I deserve that laughter. It's fine. So yeah, that is me getting that feedback very recently. That was even yesterday. I got that feedback yesterday, and I've been processing it, and I'm still processing it, and I'm trying my best to what's the word now, to work on it. Yeah, like I've asked for help today now twice. I've asked for help today. So tell me about a feedback that you have gotten recently that or even maybe some time back that didn't really go well for you. Before we go into, okay, Naomi, you just shared yours. Okay. Somebody else is sharing as well in the chat box. Okay, let me read a couple of what I'm having here in the chat box. Okay. Okay, someone said to me that I don't pay attention to my looks, especially my hair. I put in effort in other things, but not so much in that regard. Okay. And to be fair, the hair stresses are out. Okay, I'm reading now on behalf of this person. Okay. To be fair, the hair stresses are out, and maybe she'd rather take care of other things, but not her hair. But this was a feedback given to her. And she appreciated the feedback that the person was bold and kind enough to say it. It means that maybe there are other people that are thinking of her that way too, right? And surely we all know that our looks create an impression about us, no matter what you say. No matter what you say, there's an impression. There's a way someone would dress, and you say this person is not responsible, right? There's a way you might not even say it, but inside your mind, it's going on right there, right? There's a way somebody will look. So for her, it's a feedback about her looks, right? For this person, put it in the chat box. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And I don't know if I would like to ask, have you started working on it? Have you thought the person's feedback was an honest one? Do you think you need to work on the feedback? Do you think it was a rubbish feedback? Okay, go. Okay, so we get to the point where we talk about some feedbacks being like, I mean, there's some feedbacks that just deserve the rolling of eye. Like, okay, thank you for the feedback. Talk to my hand. Is that the right way to respond to feedback? No, it's not. Okay, moving on. Moving on. So I found this and I wanted to discuss it with us today. The 3 components of great feedback, right? Timely, that's the timeliness of it when it's coming in. Some feedbacks are not given like it's a wrong timing. It's terrible, right? We have accurately and we have actioning. So somebody's giving a feedback. So in this session, I'm very sure we're not going to be able to finish up feedbacks today. That is this week. Maybe we'll be taking about 2 or 3 weeks to talk about it, because I have asked this question with people who are older than me, career-wise, people who have had lots of experiences, and I'll be glad to bring them on to share with us, right? What they have experienced in terms of feedbacks, and to also share with us how we can receive feedbacks in a more professional manner, in a better manner, how we can be more receptive to feedbacks in the right way, in the proper way. So timeliness, when we talk about timeliness of feedback, there are feedbacks that are given to us and are given in the wrong time, right? Like, for example, something happened in my church. I'm going to use my church as an example, right? Some weeks back, a choir member was singing a praise worship song. And the choir member sang, is it the wrong lyrics? Yes, let me say the wrong lyrics. And the person was corrected in between when the worship and praise was going on. According to me, let me put it that way. In my opinion, just in case this video goes out, in my opinion, that is not the right time to give a feedback. Because what you have done is to destabilize that person and to disorientate that. In fact, the person is currently distorted. I don't know what's the word, indisposed. You guys borrow me some English word. I could put myself in that person's shoe at that moment in time, and it's like the ground should just open up and swallow the person, because the praise was going on so smoothly, so good, and there was just that break with the microphone. The break with the microphone that, hey, stop it. This is not how to sing this song. This is how to sing that song. For me, the timeliness was very bad. And if you agree with me, please put it in the chat box. Say very bad if you agree with me. And then when we talk about timeliness as well, what we are saying is that sometimes you need to watch the room, read the atmosphere, read the people that are there, read the countenance of the person you're even trying to give feedback to. Somebody is looking down, somebody is looking like they've probably had a very rough day, and that's when you want to correct them that their English is wrong, or that they stink, or they need to have a shower, or some people don't know the right time to actually say some things, and that's not okay. I'm not going to say that's okay. That's not okay. You can get better at it. You can learn, right? Somebody else is sharing here as well that recently, it's not work related, but she got a personal feedback, and that she doesn't take personal feedbacks like personally, like she doesn't take it to heart, but it was more like whenever the person talks to her that something needs to be addressed, she tends to either see it in a bad light, and all of that, and then it makes her go silent, or it kind of like it brings a silent treatment in the room, and then there's a display of attitude. Yeah, let me put it that way, before deciding to address or talk about it after a long time. Okay, that's really bad. People should not give silent treatment. I mean, after receiving the feedback or after giving the feedback. And I don't think it's a positive way to react. I don't even believe in giving attitude as well. Whether you're the one giving the feedback or you're the one receiving the feedback, you're giving feedback because you want somebody to change or be a better person or improve or do something better, right? And then you that you're receiving the feedback, you're receiving it. You don't have to show that I hate you, I hate your feedback is nonsense and all of that. Even if you feel that way, because let me not lie, you guys, I'm always objective. There are times you feel certain ways, but you don't have to show it, because that's maturity. It's not everything you feel you have to show and you have to say, right? Somebody put that in the chat box. It's not everything you feel, and it's not everything it's not everything you feel you have to say or you have to show, right? That's maturity. So speaking of accuracy right now, we've talked about timeliness. How accurate is your feedback? Has this person been doing it over time, or it's just once and you just want to just give feedback just like that? You need to ensure that at least you've been seeing this person. Maybe the person has done it once or twice or three times, or you've seen that it's this person's character or this person's display of behavior over time. Then I think it's a good time to give feedback and say, you know what, I have observed that this, that. That's accuracy. You have proof. The person has a track record of doing that thing or of behaving in that certain manner, or whatever it is that you want to. Yeah, there's been a backlog of it. It's been happening, right? That's what accuracy means. Then actionable. So you're telling somebody, I don't like, you're trying to, okay, let me not talk the way some of these people talk when they give feedbacks, right? You're telling somebody that you need to smell better. You need to do better in terms of like oh, thank you so much, Moyi. I just saw that word, de-established. Yes. You can make someone, if you say something at the wrong time, you can just make someone you can throw someone off their, what do you call it now? Off stability. Yeah, you can throw them off stability. And thank you so much, Gloria. It's not everything you feel you need to show. It's not everything you feel you need to express. Sometimes we need to just, and why? There are different reasons why we need to keep quiet. Maybe we'll talk about that later, right? Actionable feedbacks means you're telling somebody, for example, I'm saying that, Gloria, I have noticed that you have, I don't know, I don't know. I don't want to talk about, I don't know, anybody here, have you told somebody that they need to smell nice? How did you do it? Because I've done it before, but that was years ago, and I don't remember how I did it. But I mean, I had to be very careful not to hurt the person. I had to be, but it did go well. I just don't remember how I did it. Right. But I don't know if you have done that recently or you are very good at that. Maybe we could learn from you. But how do you tell somebody that you don't smell good? You don't tell them that you stink. You don't tell them that, some of us, we're very bad at doing that thing. We just start holding our nose up and acting like everywhere is stinking because, someone came in. That's a very bad way to give feedback. Okay, you're talking to somebody and saying, okay, I know somebody in my corner right now that likes food so much, too much. Like, you can buy the person. Like, the person is, it's like, is it Cain in the Bible? The person can sell their life's destiny with food. I'm not exaggerating, like on a serious note. Like, if you tell this person, for me to give you this food, I will take this. The person can say, like, when they are hungry or they want, the person can say, yes, take it. Maybe later I'll come back to their senses. That's how much the person likes food. I'm not even exaggerating at all. Right. So if I want to tell this person now, right, that You like food a lot and you need to work on it. I'm not going to say it the way I just said it right now. So we're learning here, right? You guys can share as well in the chat box. How do you tell people to be better? How do you tell people to be better? I want to tell somebody that likes to eat too much. I want to tell them, oh, don't you think you need to work on how you know, how much you eat and maybe the timing. You know, it's okay to eat, it's good, it's healthy to eat, but maybe we need to work on the timeliness of your eating, maybe the diet, you know, start from somewhere that it shows that you're talking from love, right? Before, if the person gets defensive, then you can now start saying, well, I have seen you on this occasion, that occasion, that occasion, about 2, 3 times you have done this. Now, going to the workplace, because I remember mentioning HR bosses. There are bosses who do not like feedbacks. I have worked with a boss like that who would tell everybody, feel free, open up your mind. This is what did you call it then? Oh, somebody give me that in the chat box. I've forgotten. They call it something. Remind me where all the staff will sit down. And why is that name going off my head? They call it a name. Somebody's helping me in the chat box, right? Okay, no, Gloria said she got the person a perfume gift. That's really nice. Okay, that's a way to communicate feedback as well. But that's the easiest way when it comes to, what if it's not the person's fragrance that you need to correct? What if it's something else and that you're not able to buy? Okay, guys, please help me. What do they call that thing you have in the office that, you know, people get to share? Thank you so much, Toby. So Toby, town hall meeting. Thank you. NPR. Thank you, Moin. Yes, NPR. Okay, so when you're in an NPR session, then your boss will tell you, or the managers will tell you that. Feel free, guys, open up your mind, say what you think we need to work better on, you know, all of that. Oh my God, we had so many of these sessions back then. Nothing was worked on. And I got frustrated as an HR. Anyway, back to the matter. So they now start giving feedbacks. You know, some bosses, once you start talking like this is the look on their face. In fact, they are marking you. In fact, they are putting your name in the tablet of their hearts. Your name is being written there. Say, so Moi is the one that said this one. Okay. Okay. Fumi is the one that said this one. Okay. Next time something relates with you or it's your matter, they won't. Anyway, let me put that aside. Okay, bosses always encourage feedback. Let me not say always. Sometimes some bosses encourage it because they can handle hearing it, but that doesn't mean they would take the feedback and put it into action, right? For HRs don't like hearing feedbacks. Anything, dear HR, most HRs, let me not speak for everyone. They don't like hearing. I like hearing feedbacks, right? And I always take action on feedbacks. But there are some staff that their feedbacks are very rude. Let me not even go into details. Example. Okay, yeah. Okay, Moin said anonymous form that is not anonymous. Thank you. Oh, you know that one too, yeah? Anonymous form. They'll tell you, fill the form and put it in the, what's this box that they always put, a feedback box, right? And then eventually, everybody gets to know that it was Moin that actually put that feedback. How did they get to know? I don't know. Did they read handwriting and all that? Me, I prefer feedbacks from the forms. I create Google form, I create IDA forms and all of that. And I have people put the feedback without putting their names. That's how I do feedback. So I don't want to know you who said it or who said what. And really, some people, I always open up my office to staff to share with me. They sit down and share with me their feedbacks about what they think is going on in the organization or what's going on in the office. You know, not many people would do that, right? Employees like to give feedbacks, but they don't like to take feedback. Am I right? You guys put it in chat box. Employees, when it comes to tell us what you feel, whether they put their names or not. I know some staff, they don't even mind putting their name. In fact, they're very bold. There's nothing you can do to me. They tell you can't beat me. Last, I what they say, last, pata pata, they would disengage me or sack me. Is that not what they usually say? Yeah. So, but when you call an employee to say you have been behaving unruly, gross misconduct, rude, the facial expression is like, especially Gen Z. I'm sorry if you're Gen Z in this session. I'm very sorry. I apologize. But I have worked with Gen Z staff as an HR manager and felt as if I had given birth to children, even though I was not even married then. I would just be like, the way some of them will even reply via mail, the mail will be long. They will explain in details. And all the explanation is to defend the feedback you give them. And say, ma, there was even one that said one time, say, ma, all my life, nobody has ever told me that I am this. I've forgotten what I said that she does. And I don't think I said anything that was very deadly. But the way I received the mail, I had to sit down well to read it. Like, she said, all my life, nobody has ever told me that I am. Is it rude? I can't remember the word. And I laughed. I'm like, this is not a matter of all your life. This is how you have been. And others in the organization have complained about you that you have been quite rude and you have been quite disrespectful. You need to work on it. Maybe you need to work on the tone of your voice, maybe not what you say. And if it's what you say, maybe you need to filter some words. That was how I spoke to her. That's how I received mail. All my life, nobody has ever told me that I'm rude, that I'm. So I'm the first person in all of her life to actually tell her the truth. I'm very happy to win the award, even though it was not an award. Anyway, so basically what I'm saying is that feedbacks are not always easy to receive, right? They're not always nice, right? It's nice to receive feedback. So you're beautiful, you have nice hair, I like the way you smell, I like your fragrance and your perfume all the time. I like how timely and diligent you are at your work, or your task. You're always very, very, up to point. Yeah, those kind of feedbacks, we like it. But once we hear buts, our face changes, we become a bit defensive, we become, and all of those things. So feedbacks are meant to be timely, kind, positive, right? That's what effective feedbacks are. It's a feedback that people will go back, process, and actually become better and change, right? They're meant to be honest feedback. You're not giving someone a feedback because you want them to feel bad because you don't like them. That's not godly. That's wickedness. That's just a word, right? Feedbacks are meant to be useful. Okay, you're telling somebody that they're doing this. Okay, why? Like you're just saying, okay, like you just walk up to somebody and say, why are you always so angry? Okay, people get angry. Human beings get angry. What is the point of the feedback? You need to construct your feedback. Why are you always looking so angry? Why are you always looking so upset? I hardly see you smile. When you smile, your beauty is even more, you're more beautiful when you smile. Learn to smile some more, learn to avoid external things that make you angry. That's a better way to give feedback about angry people, right? People that are always angry. And by the way, why do we have people that are always angry and have bad mood swings in the office? I don't like those kind of people. They should be working from home. Who agrees with me? Work from home, please. Don't bring your moody, angry, saucy, what's this word, into the office and saying that everybody should mind their business. Everybody should leave you alone. Why are you not working in the office? Everybody should leave you alone. Go home. Don't work. You're working in the office. You're relating with people. You're answerable to people. You have to meet with people. And every time you say everybody should leave you alone. Leave you alone, okay? Moise Lagos traffic costing every day. I've worked to staff that every day like this. You have to do something extra to make them smile. They're always boning, always sad, always down, always sadists. I don't know. If you have people like that in your organization, no matter what to do, let me tell you the truth, you just have to pray for them. There were times that as an HR, I would buy chocolate, I'll share it on table, buy sweets, do sticky notes. Some people, they don't have joy. That's just the truth. They don't have joy personally. They just need deliverance from the spirit of moodiness and mood swing and whatever it is, right? Feedbacks are meant to be specific as well. Don't go around about the bush for 10 minutes and you have not said the point. No, say the points. Make sure your feedback is kind. Make sure it's kind. It doesn't always have to be positive, but it's kind. We're going to be stopping here for today because we can't finish it. I don't know if you have any questions or anybody wants to share anything. We have a few more minutes for this session today to end. And I hope that at this junction, we have learned one or two things about giving feedbacks or receiving feedbacks. So what are the ways to handle feedbacks now, whether as a boss, as an employee, as a CEO, as a manager? The first one I have here is active listening. Active listening. Many people like to listen to respond. In fact, you are noting down 3 points that the person has said that you know that you're going to answer first when the person stops talking. In fact, you'll be the one to ask the person that, are you done? And that's not a good way to handle feedbacks. Feedbacks can come from anywhere, from anybody, from anything. In fact, be open to feedback. I am very open to feedback. When someone says, "Oh, Gloria, I just want to see you about something, I'll tell you something," and all of that, I am, like I told you about the feedback I got yesterday. It wasn't so pleasant because I felt it was a good thing. But then somebody telling me that's not a good thing. I'm like, does she know what she's saying? But okay, let me listen. I was quiet. And then I figured out later on as she progressed what she meant, what the intention was, and all of that. So active listening. Don't listen to respond, right? Have a calm facial expression. Some of us have facial expressions that like, you guys need to see me right now. If you're distracted or doing something, like you need to see my face right now. This is the face some of you give when they're giving you a feedback. Some of you even make sound like all this childish attitude we do when we're young. Yeah. In the workplace, don't do that. Even outside the workplace, don't do that. Give a calm facial expression, a matured one. And don't listen emotionally. Don't take things personally, right? Try to think about the fact that this person is talking about an attitude or a character flaw or behavior that doesn't make me, it doesn't define me. It can always be changed, right? That's the kind of mindset you should have. And when the person is done, say, thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you for your opinion shared. I will take some time to process. I will take some time to listen to it, to process it again, to reflect on it, and I will work on it. Thank you so much. Yeah. Doesn't mean you agree, doesn't mean you don't agree, but that's the best way to respond to feedbacks, right? There's more to share from this list and more to share in the next slide and the next slide, but I have paused it for today because I know we're not gonna have amount of time to discuss all of those things. But for today, I've prepared my, as usual, thank you slide for you. Thank you so much for joining today's session. There was no time to ask for questions or ask for contributions. That's why I was doing it in between the session as we were going on. I would like to hear your feedback. Send me a personal message if you have my contact, or send to somebody who shared this with you if you saw it, what you think about this session, and God bless you. Please kindly follow us on our LinkedIn page, on our YouTube page, watch our videos from previous webinars. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the weekend. Cheers, everybody. Bye. Thank you so much. Have an amazing rest of the day.